Hello and welcome to the Restricted Area Podcast, where we talk all things NBA and WNBA from this past week. As a reminder, you can hear this podcast a day before it can be seen on YouTube by checking out Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and Spotify. I'm your host, Alex Perez, joined by producer Colton Smith. How we doing?
Doing pretty good. I got the Purdue game pulled up to my right here, so if you see flashing lights, that's why. Doing good on Nebraska, up 20 with about 15 to go. So feeling pretty confident, so I should be able to lock into the podcast here. But I do have it on just in case. But other than that, been getting a little busier at work with the season getting closer to starting, and then watching a lot of the Olympics as well. Been a really fun time just watching the most random stuff. I think curling was the last thing I tuned into. Actually, no, the TV was on at work and I was watching some ice skating a little bit. So I love winter. Hot take, cold take, I don't know. Winter Olympics, honestly, I enjoy that more than the Summer Olympics. I get some eyes for that. I know there's basketball and I love the basketball portion of the Summer Olympics, but I just feel like the Winter Olympics is a lot of stuff like snowboarding, skiing, and stuff that I don't watch as much on my own. So it gives me kind of an excuse to tune in and watch all these people do their best. So yeah, that's my hot/cold take of the day.
You get no hate here. People like what they like. I prefer the Summer Olympics, but the Winter Olympics are definitely cool. Shout out Lindsey Vonn. Wish you all the best. Speedy
Mm-hmm.
recovery. That was rough to see, but I've been seeing the USA doing pretty good, so I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. But for
Yeah, it's
me,
also the one thing the USA doesn't dominate, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah.
yeah, that is definitely something. But I mean, it's always good to see some other nations get some love too.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've been watching basketball this weekend. Most of my teams won, so can't complain there. Super Bowl, apart from the halftime, was an absolute stinker.
Yeah, we can
The
complain there.
commercials were not great either, but good on you for still having a Super Bowl, NFL. I guess we did it again.
Ooh.
But we will go ahead and get started here. Another week in professional basketball. What stood out to you, Cole?
Well, we got our yearly Detroit Pistons altercation out of the way. Hopefully, it's not the last, but it is definitely met the quota. Jalen Duren got the party started. Well, it's kind of they both got the party started, but the real jabs were thrown when Jalen Duren kind of like hit him with one of these, and it landed right on the face, and then of Musa Diabate. Uh, uh, Diabate retaliates. Tobias Harris is holding him back, but I think he did kind of land a punch maybe on the side here or something. And then Miles Bridges and Isaiah Stewart both enter the ring like a moth to a flame. Miles backed up his teammate. He was right next to him and just gave Duran some hits. And then Isaiah Stewart comes from the bench and, he's probably wanted to do this for a while and was waiting for an excuse and starts roughing up Miles Bridges a bit as well. All four were ejected as they should be, and the Pistons took home the 110-104 win, making it 8-3 in their last 11 games. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's about as physical as NBA basketball gets, and it was a physical play that brought this upon them. I think Duran was the one on defense.
I believe
Maybe it
so.
was the other way
Yeah.
around. But all I know is they also at the beginning locked faces when like bopped heads. So I
Mm.
love the physicality. Give me a Hornets in the 8 seed, Detroit in the 1 seed, 7 game series
Oh,
after this. Let's see who comes out with a black eye or a suspension. So all in all, I like it. I know you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be taboo, but it's like a lot of NBA games are not nearly that physical, and that's something that the Pistons do very well.
now I need that 1A matchup. I like the way you're thinking there, Colton. But yeah, great physicality in a regular season NBA game, which we do not get a lot. Not quite Malice at the Palace, but I guess we're
Mhm.
thankful for that.
Mhm.
It's a little scary anytime you see beef stew, as they call him, running straight at you, unencumbered and running straight at Miles Bridges. I don't think if you're
Miles Bridges definitely backed up a little bit. Like you can kind of see
Miles
like
Bridges was like,
I didn't sign up for that.
Miles Bridges was like, I'm glad these three security guards are here, but I'm still going to yell a little bit. Uh,
Yeah, that looked tough.
but it was, if you had to pick two teams, I think these might be two of the teams at the top of your list to get in a fight. So, and the teams that you don't want to get in a fight with most. So, uh, pretty fun to see. Don't know how this affects the All Star game with Duran and other things as well. I don't know if they've
Good
even
point.
announced that, but hope it's not too long, and I hope it doesn't wreck this Piston season or the Hornets season for that matter.
Well, I mean, I can't. Dang, I think I just heard my mic come through. Wait, I'll cut this out of the video, but turn down the mic a little bit. Um, but I can't sit here and act like I wouldn't get a little bit of joy from seeing the Pistons lose their championship hopes due to a altercation in the middle of the season. But I don't think it should be the case.
Sounds a little
So,
familiar.
yeah, the season that if the Pistons are going to make a run to the finals, boy oh boy, does it look like it should be this season. No, I don't think that should be the case. I would think it should be a handful of games. I am curious what the being so close to the All Star game, if Duran gets any repercussions at the All Star game or not. But yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. Moving
Yeah.
on to my other talking point, unless you had something else you wanted to add.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. The NBA expansion talks have had their yearly, but it seems pretty confirmed that we will at least have a vote upon. According to Brad Townsend at the Dallas Morning News, the NBA Board of Governors is likely to vote on an expansion this summer, with Seattle and Las Vegas serving as the two cities that are favored. I find this to be unsurprising. I've kind of been wanting it for a while now. I know, as me and Alex know, Josh is very opposed to this idea. He thinks we need to make the league shorter so then teams become more stacked and the teams at the bottom are more inclined to tank, but we won't go there. Anyways, I went straight to the Thunder and I was like, okay, who do the Thunder have to deal away? Because 8 players in an expansion draft. Now, that wouldn't be this season, of course, but within the next year or two, the expansion draft would take place. And if it were to happen today, it would involve Alex Caruso, Kenrich Williams, Jalen Williams, not, the all-star, but the Arkansas alum,
The other one.
Isaiah Hartenstein, or Aaron Wiggins. Now, they might save one of those guys. Isaiah Hartenstein was kind of on the upper end of the age, but he's an older player, so they might go in favor of a younger player. But regardless, that would be a pretty massive hit. And I don't know if there's a limit or not to how many you can take from a single team. Maybe it's like 2, but still losing 2. If that's Kenrich Williams and Alex Caruso, those are 2 really big players to be missing out on if I'm the Thunder. And then for like a random team, like the most average team, the Bulls, that puts Rob Dillingham, Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams on the chopping block, which are all rotational players for their team. It would be somewhat of a hit for them. So, yeah, it's really an interesting scenario that I think it's about time that, first of all, we get basketball back in Seattle. Las Vegas, sure. I guess that's just the trend. And I would love to sit here and say that we bring back the Cincinnati Royals, especially after seeing those mock jerseys on Twitter. I highly doubt that would happen. I don't think we really have the infrastructure for an NBA team. What's the best? Is US Bank Arena like the best one we have here? Not to say that we couldn't theoretically build one, but come on now. Anybody from Cincinnati, that is not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So, and I don't know necessarily if the fans would support it or rally around it as much as we've rallied around like an FC Cincinnati, the new team. It would come down to ownership and being good, but I just don't know if I would see it working as well. But that could
seems like a college basketball place more than a professional basketball place since they haven't had one in so long.
Absolutely. And when you're going up against heavy hitters, I would rather see Louisville get a team than Cincinnati, if I'm being honest. I think that they already have the KFC Yum Center, which is better than any basketball arena we have around here. And I feel like they do have a more, like, they don't have any other competition in terms of pro sports. So if there would be a local team to get it, I would like to see Louisville get one for sure. But Las Vegas makes sense. Seattle, why haven't we been there for the past 30 years? Or I guess it hasn't been that long, but it feels like 30 years. And yeah, glad to see it back. And hopefully, I mean, obviously it still has to go up to vote and whatnot, but it's still something that's been talked about since Adam Silver came into office. So
Yeah, that first OKC Seattle game is going to be cinema.
mhm.
Cannot wait for that. Just peak basketball right there. Maybe the most exciting thing that has happened in the league in the last decade, maybe. So I can't
Mhm.
wait for that. Hopefully it's soon, but expansion does still take quite some time. So we will see how long that lasts. But I will go ahead and talk about the Timberwolves. Everything okay, Minnesota? Um, they are going through some troubles, especially this month. Have lost more than half of their games, and they stand now only a half game up from falling into the play-in. Colton, so I'm really come bringing this up to ask you: is this cause for concern, or do you think it's just like dealing with the trade deadline fallout and stuff like that?
A little bit of both. Those stats you bring up are quite concerning. I think the Timberwolves pretty consistently throughout their, I guess you would call it peak, have been a very inconsistent team where they put on really good runs of ball and then they put on really bad runs of ball. It typically is more of a we start the season at 500 and then all of a sudden we turn a corner. So this is kind of uncharted territory, but I would agree that the trade deadline fallout, but I'm not really sure did they trade anything outside of Mike Conley and then got Mike Conley back?
Uh, yeah, not really. Was Dillingham on that team? Besides that,
Dillingham was on that team, yeah. So they did
but
trade
he
away
wasn't getting many
Dillingham. He
minutes,
wasn't really getting too much play anyways. So
and they
if you
picked
want
up
to,
a
if
good
I'm a
piece.
Timberwolves fan, I'm believing it's the trade deadline. However, as a non-Timberwolves fan, maybe there's more than meets the eye. But I do. It's not out of character for the Timberwolves to kind of put up a stinker month like this. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't be overly like sound the alarm on them quite yet. Bottom line is, as long as you make it to the playoffs, as long as you have Anthony Edwards healthy, you have a shot in any series, in my opinion.
and yeah, they are definitely still going to be a okay making it to the playoffs and their standings. I don't think they're going to fall into this play-in game, but it's looking ugly right now. Uh, the only concern, as you kind of alluded to, you didn't really lose much, and you got a player in A or Io, however you say his name, to add to the rotation, which is obviously he has to build chemistry with the team. Hasn't been on the team but one game or two games now, but
Yep.
it's concerning if you're building and getting better pieces and still losing games. They did win last night by like 20, but besides that, it's been a rough month for them. So hopefully, maybe this is a trend in the right direction after yesterday. But the other thing I had was a my usual weekly breakdown of Unrivaled, another exciting week. The 1v1 tournament starts on Wednesday, so tomorrow I am extremely excited for that. But a couple things that happened in this past week building up to that, the Laces clinched the playoffs with a 74-70 win over the Owls. Poor Owls. Rose beat the Vinyl. The top three Rose scorers scored 72 of the 74 points for them that game. So not much happening on the bench for them. The Phantom beat the Mist in the battle of top four teams. Kelsey Plum showing she's ready for that 1v1 tournament. She dropped a cool 28 points in that game. And then the Phantom also clinched the playoffs as well last night officially. They went 2-0 this week, so they are on their way to the playoffs. But the most exciting thing is really just this 1v1 tournament coming up. A couple of key matchups. Kate Martin, it's all over Twitter. We saw the reaction she had to
I was gonna
Paige
say Kate
Beckers.
Martin might not be as excited as we are.
I still think Kate Martin puts up a good fight. Obviously, Paige is probably going to win, but it's going to be fun to watch. And another one I'm really excited for is Alyssa Thomas and not Aaliyah Edwards, Boston. There we go. from the Indiana Fever. Two very physical players who are known as very physical players who like to throw some elbows. So we might have to get a MMA ref in there or something, but it's going to be very fun to watch because they also don't shoot from range either. It's just going to be in the post, elbow swinging, like cartoon cloud of dust. And I can't wait to see who wins that because there's going to be a lot of smack talking because they both like to talk a lot of
Mhm.
smack.
Yeah, and then additionally, having to go through that and then turn around and having to maybe go up against a Kelsey Plum or Becker or something like that. Like that's we need this in the NBA first of all, but I'm really glad
Agreed.
that at least we're getting a version of this because it's really fun to see the different play styles, or will be really fun to see the different play styles going up against each other.
Yeah, maybe for I don't know NBA All Star Weekend, but we'll talk about that stinker that's coming up next week.
Mm,
But yeah, very excited for this. Maybe there are some things that you could change with this still. Maybe having like a specific guard one-on-one tournament and then a bigs one-on-one tournament because obviously the guards are going to have the upper advantage. But we'll see how this one turns out. Maybe somebody surprises me, but I think a guard will definitely win this one. And
if you saw the color go out of my face, Nebraska is now down 5 points to Purdue.
how long are we looking at there?
5 minutes.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun guessing game to see if Cold's reaction to what I'm saying or the
Yeah.
Purdue game. That's a fun game you
Uh,
all can play at home as well. Now it's time for our NBA power rankings, where we list our top five teams in the week post trade deadline. Colton, who you got?
So I actually have the Knicks at number 5. The Pistons did absolutely belt to ass them. I watched that game. They did have there was an asterisk. Cat was out, and that's a really big key piece to be missing in a game against the Pistons. When I mean, Mitchell Robinson did his thing when he was in there, but then once he's not on the floor, it just gets ugly. I still got them number 5 though. They were on an 8-game winning streak up until that point, kind of turning the corner like we talked about from that very down portion of their season. Then next up, I have the Nuggets. They just lost Peyton Watson, who had been really breaking out, but they did get back Cam Johnson. I almost said Whitmore for some reason. Cam Johnson has returned to the team, so he hadn't really found he hasn't found his spot in this offense quite yet, but maybe with Peyton Watson out, maybe with a little time on the bench and watching what this team is without him and seeing where he can slot in, perhaps that can help him out and fitting in with this team. I still got them at number 4, though. They got Jokic, they got them all. So then at number 3, I got the Thunder at the lowest point they have been all season for me. They are heavily injured, so they'll get the benefit of the doubt from here on out. But I think the next two are just higher. I mean, Shea's out for the Thunder. This is still the best team in the league once he's back, but right now I got them at number 3. They actually are tied with the Pistons in losses now, so
Mhm.
that conversation gets interesting. The Spurs, though, I have at number 2. They just knocked off the Thunder, injured, albeit they still went 4-1 against them throughout the season, and they've been on an absolute heater. There's a certain player I'm saving for my star of the week to talk about, but he had himself quite the game last weekend. Most of you can probably guess who it is, but I'll keep it a secret. And then at number 1, I have the Detroit Pistons. They have yet to play OKC or San Antonio, but they are 7-1 versus the top 6 teams in the league. I'm very, very curious to see what those matchups end up looking like. I'm not sure which one comes first, but hopefully the OKC is a little bit later so that Shea will be back for that and we can get a really good test because reality, that could be an Eastern Conference, or not an Eastern Conference, however, but a NBA Finals preview, really with either of
100%.
those teams, but more so likely the Thunder there. So, yeah, I got them at the number 1 spot. They just beat the shit out of New York, as I said, and as well as had their yearly incident. Still got the win at the end of that, and things are looking really good into the All-Star break for Detroit, and they're top of the league for me.
I like it. The Nuggets do not make my list just because I'm worried about. another extended period where they will not have Aaron Gordon. I think he's out another 4 to 6 weeks.
That's a good
So
point.
that's going to be tough for them. But again, if you have Jokic, you're going to be all right, no matter who you have on the team. Uh, but for my list, number 5 is the Celtics. Third in the East, 4-1 this month, and 2 of those wins are by 20 plus. Again, they're not supposed to be doing this. They got better at the deadline, so I don't expect them to go much lower in the power rankings or the standings. So good for you, Celtics. The Knicks are number 4 for me, second in the East. They got the head-to-head versus Boston, and that's why they're number 4 instead of number 5. 4-1 this month, and they also got stronger at the trade deadline. Alvarado already pulled off one of his heists. I don't know if you got to see that, but that was pretty cool to see his first heist in New York. Number 3 is the Spurs, undefeated so far in February, second in the West. 3 of the 4 wins by double digits, and a guy for the Spurs had a pretty good game. So, yeah, the Pistons, fighting to become the top team in the league. So shout out to them. First in the East, undefeated in February as well. Uh, Beat the Knicks by 38, as you talked about. That's a tail whooping. One more thing I wanted to say about the Knicks. You mentioned it, Mitchell Robinson, very important. Rob Perez often says on Twitter that he's the most important role player in the league, and it's kind of hard to argue because he gets a lot of offensive rebounds, which leads to a lot of open threes.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't hit many that night, though. Sucks for them. Number 1 in my list is OKC, first in the league, first to 40 wins. So they meet the 40 before 20 criteria, and they're down SGA right now. So I know they're going to lose a couple games, like we called against the Rockets. Not to toot our own horn, but I I do think. Well, I'm not going to overreact to what I was trying to say to the losses that are probably going to come. Not tonight against the Lakers though, because they're deciding to sit everybody. Anyways, so excited to watch that game, and yeah, so OKC makes the top of my list again and again and again and again. Um, Now it's time for our NBA Pick'em, where we pick our winners for the biggest games in the association this week. Obviously, a short week, so we're making this an all-star edition of NBA Pick'em. First, I got the three-point contest, and as a reminder, your contestants are Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Colin Knippel, Donovan Mitchell, Bobby Portis, Norman Powell, Jamal Murray, and Damian Lillard. Colton, who do you got?
I don't know. Who do I got? Who do I? Damian Lillard, come on, 3-time. What do you think? What has Dame been doing in his rehabilitation? Nothing but threes.
Yep.
One of the best 3-point shooters of all time, and all he's been doing for the past month is shooting threes. No, more than a month. Dame. It's Dame. 3-time. Dame time.
Yeah, 100% agree. That he's even doing this is so cool.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch him dominate. I think he's going to win and win by a lot. Uh, and it's probably saving All Star Weekend, honestly. So shout out to Damian Lillard for saving All Star Weekend.
And by the way,
The,
this is how I found out that Bobby Portis is shooting 45% from three. So shout out Bobby Portis for doing that.
Somebody
Yeah.
has to be good on the Bucks. Might as well be him.
I guess so.
The dunk contest. Wow, what a class we have here. Carter Bryant from the Spurs, Jackson Hayes from the hosting Lakers. The other team does not get to claim they host. Kashad Johnson and Chase Richardson. Who do you have in this great dunk contest we're going to get?
I'm just going with Chase Richardson because, well, his father is also my favorite player on this list. And Jackson Hayes, I think I said it right away. What's he going to do? Be like, here, Luca, give me a lob. I dunk. Prove me wrong. Jackson Hayes got house. I'm not trying to hate on Jackson Hayes. He can probably do some more crazier stuff than he does in game. But I'm gonna stick with my boy Chase Richardson. I think he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The pedigree, the dunk
Hmm.
contest pedigree. He definitely got the hops. I think he can maybe do something that would surprise. I think he's the one that I think for sure could do something. I'm like, okay, all right, I see why he was here. So hopefully he proves me right.
Yeah, I hope so because now we need a new Mac McClung because apparently he's never coming back. RIP. But Carter Bryant is somebody I'm also excited for, honestly. He has shown some unreal athleticism in his games this season, so excited to see if he pulls off something crazy. But I'm biased, so I'm going to go with Jackson Hayes. And I've seen him pull off an East Bay in game, so I feel like that could lend you to
Valid,
some good opportunities to
valid.
uh, pull off some big dunks when nobody's in front of you. So excited to see the theatrics Jackson Hayes brings because he's definitely going to bring them as the hosting player. And Luka's going to be there. LeBron's going to be there. Austin Reeves may be there. We'll see. Uh, and then we have the All Star game, which is Team Stars, Team Stripes, or Team World. As a reminder, the stars are Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Kate Cunningham, Jalen Duren, maybe Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey. The U.S. Stripes team is Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson. No longer Steph Curry, so we'll see who's replacing him. Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kawhi, uh, Donovan Mitchell, Norman Powell, and then the team world: Giannis, Advia, Luca, Shea, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Pascal Siakam, Carl Anthony Towns, and Victor Wembanyama. Uh, I already know your answer, but who do you think wins?
Oh, it's got to be the stars, man. Right? Got to be.
They're so tough.
Low key, like the stars are so like you got Anthony Edwards, you got D Book, I guess. I feel like they definitely tried to load up the Stripes team though.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Curry, Durant, LeBron, like
They
that's
put all
going
the
to
old heads on
be
there.
the best chance they have to knock off the world. But I mean, it's Giannis, Shea, Luca, Jokic, and I'll even throw in Sengun in there. Like, who thought that was fair?
Yeah,
Who in God's you literally Jokic has to sit out? You get baby Jokic in there, a Shingun. Like, I don't know who thought this was fair, who thought this would be entertaining. It may be 200. It's not going to be 200 to 100. Steph Curry and LeBron. Well, Steph's not in it, but LeBron and Kawhi. I don't know. Why I said Kawhi. LeBron and KD will not let that happen. But yeah, I have no idea who the hell thought this would be. I guess NBC thought this would be entertaining. They need to rethink that, and let's just go back to that, or do a 1v1 tournament, something. I don't know.
yeah. Adam Silver, you may have a point. These people may take it personally once the world starts winning by 300, but I think by then it'll be a little too late. This world team may be the best All Star team ever assembled, so uh, it's they're not getting beat. They're going to win by 300.
I love how they
So
sneak Cat and Jamal Murray in there. Like, I know they obviously are not from the States, but let's be real
right,
here.
had to sneak them in there. But now it's time for our shooting star segment where we pick our baller of the week. Colton, who you got?
My baller of the week that nobody could have ever predicted. I didn't give it away basically earlier. Stephon Castle. I just love being right. And I think if you go back far enough, actually, I know as a fact, if you go back far enough to our NBA draft preview, the year Stephon Castle got drafted on the old Norse Benchwarmer channel, you can see how right I was about this guy. 40 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds in a
Insane.
138 to 125 win over the Mavericks. This dude is nasty. The backcourt of him and De'Aaron Fox need to start having some conversations. I know De'Aaron Fox hasn't necessarily fully recovered. I think he's still kind of figuring out his role,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still getting buckets and whatnot. I think when it's all said and done, though, that backcourt will have some interesting discussions around it. But Stephon Castle, keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, one interesting stat I pulled from that game. I'm glad you mentioned that because then I get to mention another fun thing. because he was going to be mine if you didn't. 75% shooting on that night as well. There's been one other player in the history to ever put up those stats and 75% shooting. It's Wilt Chamberlain. Um, that's a historic
Solid company.
performance.
That's what. How tall is Stephon Castle? He's not.
Yeah,
He's like 6'3".
he also had 12 rebounds, and Victor Wembanyama plays on his team.
That's another outstanding point.
I don't know if they
6'6".
will
Okay, he's taller than I thought.
if they'll keep tracks of career highs playing alongside Victor Wembanyama, but that may be the high right there. So shout out Stephon Castle. But since you brought him up, I'll bring up another one, the Charlotte Hornets. Very excited for you all before this loss on the fight. 9-game winning streak, and the first 9-game winning streak since the PS2 came out. So you all have struggled for quite some time, but you all are on the up and up now, and the vibes are well. The vibes were high. We'll see how they are in a little bit, but the vibes are somewhere, and we're liking what we're seeing currently. So shout out to the Hornets for finally getting that streak ended.
I love the NBA Twitter post of like Hawks, Heat, and Bulls fans. Like, there's an imposter among us, and it's a picture of the play-in tournament. Somebody's breaking up the family that is the Bulls, Hawks, and Heat. I mean, the Raptors already kind of messed that up, but the Hornets being in there is funny. It's also kind of funny that the Hornets won 9 games in a row and they're still 10th place in the East. But hey,
Yeah,
the vibes are good. If they keep this up, they could pretty well be like the 7th or 6th seed by next week if they just keep winning. So that's just
we could
how
have a
wide
fun
open.
play-in game. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get it. Hey, as long as they get the 8th seed and play the Pistons, I don't care. That's the destiny I need right now.
That would be chef's kiss. I really need that to happen now, and I'm going to be sad if it doesn't. So thanks, Colton. But that will do it for this episode of the Restricted Area Podcast. Thanks, Colton, for being on. Follow the show's YouTube at CX Restricted Area. Follow the CX crew on all socials at CX Pod Network. You can follow me on Twitter at the Will Jill and Colton at Colt_45. That's 3 T's, by the way. So thank you all for listening and watching. And until next week, like a dirt fadeaway, be smooth.